Hi, Caspar here on the 5th of February 2018, and I've got a Lebanese red in my glass. This is actually the March's Daily Drinker red sample, and it's 2000 and... oh, I better check the vintage actually, 2013 wine called a cuvée called Jaspe from Chateau Oumsiyat, being up in the Lebanon hills, Lebanon mountains at some altitude, getting away from that heat, of course. Further up the mountains you get, the cooler it is. But this is what I tend to think of as being a fairly typical Lebanese blend of Cabernet, Syrah, Carignan, Cinsault. Let's give it a go. Nice depth of colour, and it's a wine that's kind of holding itself in check, really. It's got none of that sort of big, rich, liqueur-like character you find on some Lebanese. It doesn't smell as though it's been drenched in sunshine and ripened to the hilt. In fact, there's a slightly snappy bell pepper, almost mintiness about the aromas, and it's sort of majored on red and black fruit, sort of plumminess, but it's as I say, it's not doesn't sense. You don't get the sense that the vineyards have masses and masses of sun on it. It's got a sort of nutty quality as well, almost a hazelnut aroma. It's quite an interesting thing to smell. Let's sip it, see what happens. There's slight elements of maturity to it, in a slight nutty, chocolatey sort of way. It's got some nice tannins that are fresh, have good snap, add freshness to the wine, and it's got nice fresh acidity as well. It's structured right through, really. I mean, but it's a nice cool thing, no real undue heat about it, and the finish sort of ends up in a busy sort of bundle of these fine nutty tannins and the fresh acidity. And it's a wine of decent length as well. It's got those slightly leathery, chocolatey elements about the finish. This, as you're probably aware, we don't send out many blended wines. We tend to stick to monovarietal wines for the Daily Drinker mailings. But I tasted this and I thought this is something that maybe Daily Drinkers should look at, because I think it expresses the current state of the Lebanese wine industry, where things are changing. I think there's this perhaps an effort to make wines that have greater definition and are cooler, less ripe, and perhaps more food friendly. I enjoy this, I must say. I think it's not the greatest red wine in the world, but I think it's a interesting expression of Lebanese winemaking, and as such, I hope you enjoy having it on your table. Have it with a bit of food and simple meat. Have it with sausages. There we are. I think it's the ideal wine to have with a good old British banger, or whatever you want, really. Yeah, I hope you enjoy that. I think it's a really interesting wine. That's 2013 Jaspe from Chateau Oumsiyat in the Lebanon. First Lebanese Daily Drinker, as far as I remember. Very interesting.